Ladies and gentlemen, as you know that this virtual summit is an apt opportunity for all of you to sense check your approach with like-minded industry experts. And you can do all of that at the networking lounge, the networking zone out there, because everything that you do, every footprint of yours on this platform definitely fetches you some points. And of course, I do care about all the prizes that you have to win today. So keep it going, keep the hustle mode on, I would say. And of course, you can discuss about your business critical challenges and of course the disruptive solutions that our partners have to suggest at the experience zone. And this can be a collaborative effort. And on that note, please allow us to definitely march into the next session that's right in here. This would be digital insight, as I said, because this will strike the right balance between that human touch and the automation. We keep discussing about it always, so it's time that we address how do we enhance the stakeholder experience with digital transformation. Allow me to please welcome, of course you can extend in your tweets and some comments right out there, Renu Rajesh, VP Digital Transformation Services from Connect Business Solutions, will be joining us. So over to you, Renu.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for having me here. I manage digital and business transformation within Connect. Today, we'll talk about how technology-led disruption, digital disruption, is shaping the industry in general, and how it is more important than ever to strike a right balance between human touch and AI-led automation to deliver what we call as superior stakeholder experience, both for customers and employees. According to Charles Darwin, it is not the strongest or the most intelligent who will survive, but those who can best manage change. It is equally applicable to current business landscape, where in my opinion, it is not the organizations with the greatest financial muscle or the best technology that will survive, but it is the nimblest ones, which are able to adapt quickly to disruptions and through rapid technological change and associated changing consumer behavior. We have seen that COVID-19 outbreak was a world-changing event that will have a long-lasting implications for global economy. It is once in a generation global impact event. While there is no doubt that the pandemic is changing consumer behavior, customer behavior, and amplifying the adoption of new technologies by organizations. But in my view, these technological advancements were already changing the world over the past 2 decades, from the very nature of our work to our living standards. It is now becoming very obvious that the accelerating pace of technological change is the most creative force or the most destructive, depending on the context from where you're looking in the services ecosystem today. See, even before the pandemic struck, some of the features of the technological progress were especially visible and gaining strength. First, technology was already disrupting production processes, especially through the rapid scale up of digital platforms. Second, technology created a seismic shift in the mix of skills required to succeed in the labor market. These include cognitive skills such as critical thinking, as well as social behavioral skills, as well as managing and recognizing emotions that enhance teamwork and selling better. Because, as we know, machines are great at doing, but not at being. And third, digital technology changed the terms of work. For example, remote work is now very prevalent, widespread, and in my opinion, becoming rather mainstream. So let us examine the real world implications of these advances and how they affect our way of life, way of work. We'll cover present scenario of automation, some challenges that have been faced by organizations. Most importantly, the value between human collaboration and machines, especially for innovation. Uh, Also, how to balance between human touch and automation and reimagine business strategies with AI. We'll also focus a few things on the key priorities for this year and beyond, and then how to deliver superior stakeholder experience in a connected world. So with that, let's start. It's time to innovate or be left behind. The new digital natives are threatening the bottom lines, growth prospects, even business models of traditional financial service providers. One of the most important factors is that companies must now find collaborative ways of working and to ensure that they remain focused on customers and not essentially on their internal processes. Internal processes are important, but at the end, customers is paramount. According to Pega research, businesses have learned a lot through the experience that has been induced by pandemic. 56% have increased digital transformation investment. 69% said COVID-19 taught them to be more empathetic. And 74% said COVID-19 will permanently change the way they operate, probably for the better. Prior to pandemic years, there was a skepticism in some circles about the value of automation and digital transformation. However, as we observe, this COVID-19 and the ensuing pandemic has accelerated the migration to digital automation, and AI adoption has been at the fastest in recent decades that we have seen. Pandemic also made us learn the hard way that technology will aid us in fighting any future disasters, and probably is the ultimate differentiator for scale and efficiency. See, the spectrum of automation in organizations can be classified into three. One is basic automation. This is like simple use cases of simple chatbot or RPA tools which are designed and applied on repetitive jobs. They're typically designed to operate on a presentation layer of a business. It also is able to process structured data. Such rule-based chatbots and RPA solutions are very easy to implement, but the caveat is that we have to find the right candidates for maximum yield and early benefits. The other side of the business, enhanced automation, is where data is used for augmenting the automation. So this looks like ingesting unstructured data, OCR, which has been around for quite some time, but aided with machine learning. The pro about this is that machine learning components enable pattern recognition, context identification, cluster formation, label identification, etc., through both supervised and unsupervised learning. And this results in a higher throughput. The con is that these solutions take a little bit of time. 4 to 6, 8 weeks is common for the engine to start producing higher accuracy levels and throughput rates. Finally, it's the cognitive automation, which is where AI really comes into its own through technologies such as NLP, processing, or speech recognition, computer vision. See, this cognitive solution incorporates advanced self-learning capabilities and can be used for sophisticated hypothesis generation or advanced predictive analytics. So such platforms, the only downside is they are still slightly costly to develop and implement and generally require a long lead time, but they do end up reducing human errors, but they don't take humans out of the equation. And that's the crux of it. Humans, algorithms, automation, all working together to deliver superior experience. And the labor market has also changed because of this, because the kind of skills that are required are very different than the traditional ones. And to maximize this potential of AI and humans, in my opinion, leaders must create a self-adapting, self-optimizing, almost living processes that use machine learning and algorithms and real-time data to continuously improve. Now, what are the challenges with implementation of these technologies? The pace at which automation is replacing and augmenting human effort in organization is probably an indication of how these technologies are going to tremendously change our way we live, we work. Most of the organizations across the globe have started realizing the necessity of adopting these modern demands on business. Investment in AI automation are continuing to accelerate. So effectively, automation and enterprise can basically drive better informed decision making and also are key factors of facilitating enhanced operational efficiencies. However, when introducing new technologies, there are a number of challenges that any organization faces. However, there are ways of overcoming them. But the focus areas always remain that first is benefit versus cost. So technologies are a tool. Organizations have to be laser sharp, laser clear as to what is the benefit that will drive the prioritization process also, versus weighing which project to take and what is the complexity. Then anticipating the need of the users. Replicating existing technology creates a follower positioning, in my opinion. For organizations to be competitive, this is in the long run amounts to investing in a position that lags behind rather than surges past the competition. Also, another aspect which is very important is validating technology use cases. Companies can no longer afford to guess if their technology investment can make an impact. They have to determine right from the get-go whether this is high impact, viable, and really beneficial in the long term. And then there is a need to define robust processes. In all this technology, process remains paramount. Implementing technology also creates momentum to converge processes. And in most of the organizations, as we have seen, it forces an organization to identify what are their leading practices and then make them more efficient. More often than not, a lot of process re-engineering is required. These technologies also require running an organization like a startup. A natural human tendency, as we see, is to seek comfort and rest in status quo. But technology induces change. And these new practices into organizations that can cause resistance in every level of management and workforce, they are really the key to overcoming. And then also agility. Gone are the days when we used to run 18 months, 14 months, 18 months projects. And at the end of the project, some benefit would trickle in. I think these are the days of agile, sprint-sized, story-centric delivery is no longer a mantra, it's a reality. And organizations are adopting this. And lastly, even in spite of all of this, user adoption challenges remain. Users will often assist change and adopting new systems, particularly when they have not been consulted. And that's what the core of our philosophy is, that we take a consultative approach, have an inclusive approach to doing this automation, and also incentivizing employees. See, they wholeheartedly support it. So inclusiveness is one of the biggest aspects of running any large technology project. In a nutshell, what we see is technology isn't the biggest challenge, often culture of the organization is. What is the value of collaboration? So see, take full advantage of AI and automation. Companies need to ensure that there is collaboration between humans, machines, and algorithms. It's not either or. It's a situation. Business need both. We need to understand how humans can most effectively augment machines, how machines can enhance what humans do best, and how to redesign business processes to support these partnerships. In future, I believe that the conceptual framework will flip on its side, from human beings augmented or replaced by humans to algorithms and humans and machines working together. However, humans still need to perform a lot of crucial roles. First of all, they must train the machines to perform certain tasks, explain the outcome of those tasks, especially when results are counterintuitive or controversial at best, and sustain the responsible use of machines. For example, preventing bots and algorithms from being misused. Today, there's a significant mismatch between the technologies available and the skills that we have in the workforce. Reskilling existing workforce is the mantra. And adequate training from top to bottom is need of the hour. A very crucial question that remains for all of us is to do with hiring versus reskilling. It's not the case of doing what we are doing in a different way. It's how you reimagine the entire process. Also, we have to adapt to new processes, new tools. To empower digital workforce, companies need to first redefine individuals' roles and responsibilities so that they align with the transformation goals. A transformation project running in isolation without being inclusive has a high degree of probability of failure. So let's look at how balancing between human touch and automation, how we can reimagine business strategies with AI. We have witnessed that the advent of artificial intelligence in BPOs and generally service provider organizations in general, it is disrupting the existing business processes, and this is changing the way we run organizations. Many companies have used, including ours, AI robotics to automate processes, but those that deploy it mainly to displace employees will only see short-term productivity gains. Firms, in my opinion, achieve most significant performance improvements when humans and machines work together. So through such collaborative intelligence, humans and AI actively enhance each other's complementary strengths. For example, with humans, it's leadership, teamwork, creativity, and social skills. And with machines, it's speed, scalability, quantitative capabilities. In my opinion, business requires both kind of capabilities. At the same time, we also see that many companies are struggling to scale up these AI efforts. Mostly it is ad hoc, some projects are applied in a single process. The key is to really understand the organizational and cultural barriers. AI initiatives face work and lower the resistance, frictionless journeys, both for employees and customers. And accounting for companies' AI maturity, business complexity, and innovation pace, we have to decide how we're going to be reimagining what we are going to be reimagining. As it turns out, the key elements of reimagining business strategies include first, obviously, the technology and how it can be deployed along with pervasive connectivity. We also need to look at the talent part of it. It is equally important to align culture, practices, structures, and ways of working to adopt and have a broader adoption of AI. Also, how we can look at data. Now, we have heard this data is the new oil. We have heard this before. But it's never more imperative for the organizations to implement a data management platform, because a lot of cognitive automation happens through availability of data. Remember, data need not be numbers anymore. It can be text, images, videos, or just a lot of information available from internet, social. So we have to consider human workforce and AI to be complements, and reskilling of the workforce is absolutely important. It is not about automate or displace, but augment and enhance. Some of the key priorities to focus on in 2021, in my opinion, is on the business side, we have to start with customer experience and then augment employee experience at the same time. Both are the ultimate differentiator, in my opinion. When other services, products have become rather commoditized, this is the only differentiator we have. Pursue an omni-channel model, show up where the customer is. A lot of consumer tech has moved into employee domain. What they use at home, they're now having why it can't be used in my office space. The same convenience, the same agility that is available in a personal life, why is it not available? So these kind of questions are coming up. Shaping and controlling data strategy is very important. And most importantly, when we are doing this, define your inspiring purpose. Find out what customers want. Where they're beginning to demand convenience. What is seen in one industry is being demanded in the other. The ease of use of Uber is now driving the usability models in other industries. On the tech side, we need to update the digital operating model. We need to get ready for the new normal. It won't be called digital, it would be normal as we do this today. We also have to optimize costs by simplifying, and simplification is a very big theme in itself. But going beyond cloud and adoption of RPA, look at how we are reimagining the tech capabilities. How are we reimagining our strategies about how we look at customers' journeys? Are journeys broken? We have to look at journey management in a major way and prepare an architecture to connect to anything, anywhere. This is an economy of everything as a service. So a lot of interconnects are bound to happen. And most importantly, pay attention to cybersecurity before it becomes urgent. And nurture the right ecosystem of service partners, because EX and CX are the ultimate differentiators. There are a lot of, mobile phones and a lot of connectivity that is driving customer expectations, employee expectations. So higher customer expectations are a given these days. The rise of mobile internet is driving innovative ways of delivering these services to both customers and employees. It's the mantra of anywhere, everywhere. Then big data and analytics is playing a huge role in how service providers or organizations provide services to customers. And finally, Internet of Things, like I mentioned previously. And we have been doing a lot of work in this area in facilitating both EX and CX. And results are there to see. Now, CX, according to Gartner, is about 81% of the companies mostly compete on CX. As its name implies, it refers to customers' collective experience while interacting with various touchpoints, not only one, including online systems, including emails, including call centers, advertising, face-to-face interactions, even social media. So events in the past year have accelerated a massive societal change. E-commerce, for example, has grown by orders of magnitude. A touchless service like curbside pickup, virtual interactions in healthcare and banking also are not just accepted, but are preferred by many. So we need to reshape our customer interactions and business models. Sales landscape, for example, even in B2B, is changing rapidly. And similarly, employees, their needs and preferences have also fundamentally shifted. Connect has been at the forefront. We have the ability, and this is the need of the hour, of everywhere talent, everywhere customer. That means accessing new and diverse talent pools, converging traditional methods of delivery, of online, offline, remote. And this is all at the center of a hybrid work model. At Connect, we have empowered these hybrid models for both our customers and employees. We believe that to elevate employee experience through the use of digital technologies and platforms is very important. For example, we have put nudging systems, virtual coaches, workplace analytics, employee virtual assistants, and the same technologies are deployed for customers as well. And the benefits are there to see. There's a massive improvement in efficiency, naturally, but also in experience. When you are there where your customer expects you, naturally the journey is much better, and it reflects in the bottom line or top line as well. So at Connect, we have deployed, for example, AI-enabled nudge systems, especially for remote workers, with conversational virtual assistants, and providing real-time assistance and guidance to remote workers. Similarly, we have deployed a lot of analytics and AI and cognitive automation to help customers take decisions. So in a changing world like this, AI is the next future. And with this, I end this session. Thank you very much for having me.
Renu would like to say thank you to you for your talk. I'm sure some very worthwhile perspectives for our watchers out there. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next is an intensive industry leaders panel discussion that's coming up. And this will be about collaborative marketing, the key to being a standout CMO. That's what our panel is going to talk about. So you can, in the meanwhile, tour the platform as I come right back on the screen with our accomplice.